listening to the LOZ Podcast Network.
Hello, everyone. This is Ken Lawler. Welcome to the LOZ Podcast Network. This is the network in the LOZ app where we talk to everyone around the lake about all kinds of stuff going on. We'll talk to realtors about real estate. We'll talk to charities about what they have going on. And we'll talk to business owners. And today we definitely have a business owner you're going to want to hear from. Anywhere you go in the lake, you are probably visiting one of the developments that he runs and owns. And today we're lucky enough to have George Tucker from Tucker Properties today. And he is right here with me. Hi, George. How you doing?
Good. How are you this afternoon?
Awesome. So, as I tell people, you can't go around the lake without getting to one of your properties. I mean, you have pretty much got a lot on the water. You've got a lot on the strip. Everything's going on. Where did this all start?
Well, it all started at Paradise in 2007. Me and my brother bought that. So he was in college. I was just done with college. I was 24. He was 22. Kind of just started off internship my last semester of college. Went to the University of Iowa, and did commodities internship. It was my dad was in finance, and so I kind of go in that route. Did the internship, and I was like, I don't know if this is something I want to do the rest of my life. So, we'd been visiting Lake of the Ozark as a family once a year for a week, kind of thing. My parents had a place in northern Iowa at a lake, so we'd go up there more than down here. But season was longer down here, and when I was younger, when I was a little kid, actually, we would go to Paradise because a mutual friend of my parents owned it. He was from Iowa originally. That place was built in '88. But I remember sitting at Paradise, as a kid waiting in the heat, being like, this is ridiculous. It would suck to work here, it's crazy how that, and I remember sitting at these tables inside, it was plywood floors, no AC, very primitive type place. And that came back to smack me in the face. But yeah, no, it was kind of, got my dad to co-sign a loan and kind of went from there. First couple years with that place, we struggled. I had never been in the restaurant business. Not seasonal. There's just a lot of things, a lot of maintenance issues we had.
It's amazing to me that you're 22, 23 years old and you decide we're going to take over this restaurant. You never were in the business before. Like, you're learning everything on the fly.
Yeah. The original owner was, he hung with us for 6 months, trying to make sure we don't mess something up too bad. But I mean, the first weekend we're open, a fan blade fell off of a fan, hit a guy in the face.
Oh.
I went to the bathroom and fell through the floor in the restroom when we were open. And
so there wasn't a lot of back then. There wasn't a lot of people that were looking at that stuff, was there? It was just kind of like if you saw the building and it was up, then we could use it.
Well, I mean, I was a college kid, so I just wanted the bar. I just didn't. And I mean, if you look back, it's like I'm glad that happened. If I would have been smarter, though, I don't know where I would be right now because I wouldn't have bought that place. And so we live in the streets right now for all I know.
It's pretty cool, though. I mean, you're working with your brother. You're in your young 20s. You got a bar at the Lake of the Ozarks. I mean, as far as just living and having an adventure, that's got to be pretty fun.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun until the bank accounts were they weren't positive.
Right.
So after the first year, you're like, all right, we know what we're doing. So the second year, like, okay, well, still not making money. And then after the third season, we remodeled some stuff and add some stuff, and then did that again 3 years later. So now it's a viable business, and it runs and all that. So it just took a little bit of time and effort. And once you beat your head on something hard enough, I think something's gonna give.
Well, and I mean, it probably gives you a really good view on when your managers or people are running your places and they're going through stuff, or you have new cooks, or you have new people who start working there. You can say, guys, there's not a job in this place that you're doing that I didn't do at one point in my life. So,
I mean, up until a couple of years ago, I was in the kitchens a lot more than I am now, which I haven't cooked in a kitchen for probably 2 years. But before then, it was, all right, it's Saturday night. I'm going to have to go somewhere and drop some fries. And
so somebody's not going to show, and I got to be there.
Yeah, something's going to happen. So
How many people do you employ in all these places? Like, if you had what's the number of if you took all your places together? How many employees do you think you have?
I mean, over 500 at the peak, but it peaks and it falls off. So in the wintertime, we still have quite a bit. Because we have a lot of maintenance people. There's 5 maintenance guys that work year round at Frankie and Louie's, constantly working on the campground, and the restaurant. Then the other 4 restaurants have 5 more guys that just work on those 4. And so, I mean, and then there's Tucker's is open year round, and there's still, there's a lot of office people and stuff like that where, we're probably running around 100 even in the winter.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's a lot of people. Well, let's talk about some of the different properties, because there's a bunch of them. I think that some of the differences you have are cool, because you every one of your places has a little different feel, a little different design, and you can kind of get something for everybody at the lake. Like, for instance, Frankie and Louie's. I mean, what an awesome place this is. This is like, one of the very few beaches in all of Lake of the Ozarks. It's actually powder sand. You can actually go sit in your chair, and the kids can go out in the water, and what a neat experience. Great music, great food. Tell me a little bit about this property and what it means to you.
Yeah. So, we were friends with the previous owner. So in 2016, he was the one or before that, we bought it in early January of 16. So back to that, we bought it. So meeting my brother, myself, and Ryan Sinclair. Ryan Sinclair was the general manager at the time. And he's our age. And so he had built that property since he was in high school. So he knew the ins and outs of that property. So it was a perfect fit there. It's just, when we bought it, it had a great client base, and it's got even stronger since we've had it. What's there, I mean, it was built by the original owner, but we've just, enhanced it. We've added we've doubled the size of the campground, added another beach for our campers, and another that's away from the restaurant. We've, added more docks and just cleaned it up a little bit and adjusted things to make it, to fit the times a little better. But we have some more plans in store for that place in the upcoming years. So look forward to that.
Yeah, and you guys have really done a good job of a built-in customer base there with the campground and the RV park all around you there. I mean, there's a lot of people who don't have to walk or take a golf cart very far to go enjoy themselves at that location. They can be home in 30 seconds.
So it's unique. So that, when we bought that place, I was kind of researching what goes on. It's like, how long have these people had these camp? So it's year round. So these campers, they rent for the year, and the campground is only open for 7 months a year. But it's a yearly thing. So it's not a lot of in and out. So, when we looking into that, a home or condo is owned by a homeowner at Lake of the Ozarks. It used to be 7 years on average. And I don't know if that's changed at all, but they're running 8 years here.
Wow.
So these people were less transient than a homeowner. And then I kind of thought, well, this is like an entry level to the Lake of the Ozarks. If you're young or just checking out the Lake of the Ozarks, maybe you just start with a camper, then you go from there, buy a condo or house, whatever. Well, it turns out that people would do that. They would think about it like that too. Then I was talking to a guy a couple years after we bought it. He went to Portachimo, built a house, whatever. And he kept his camper here because he knew when he goes to Lake of the Ozarks, he goes to his house in Portachimo, no one's going to go to his house, hang out with him or whatever. But when he pulls into the campground and parks his truck out front of his camper, next thing you know, there's a community hanging out there. They're walking, right. Everybody's drinking beer on their patios, hanging out, going for walks, doing whatever. So it's really, there's a community there that isn't just entry level, Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah, and there's people that have added like big decks onto their. I mean, I drove through there.
Yeah, no, there's some money and put into these campsites, whether they're paving them, with pavers, concrete, building big decks, doing whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of character in the campground if you guys want to drive through there and check it out. It's really neat.
They're opening March 14th, right? They're going to be open March 14th, so you can get out there. And I know today it's almost 70 degrees at the lake, so everybody's got the fever.
Yep. So it's real nice here right now, and our I think we've got 10 sites open right now. So we were full last year. We'll be full this year. But if you're looking for a campsite, better call us right now because I think there's like 10 left out of almost 600.
Yeah, they won't last.
No,
They won't last.
Probably at the end of the weekend.
So, we got the kids on the beach, they got a place in the water to play. And then you built this amazing malted monkey on the strip, which just, talk about fun for the family, talk about something unique that you brought to the lake. And anything you guys, it's funny because, you guys, when you build something, you build it right. I mean, these are really, really well-built structures that you have on the strip. And it's not what you're used to seeing. Talk a little bit about Malted Monkey and what that's done for your brand.
Yeah. So Tucker Structures we built in 2015. Within a year or so of having that, there was a jewelry store on the left side of your picture next to Tucker's. And I bought that and, it was an older building, so I tore it down. So there's a concrete pad there. And so Tucker's would be out of weight and whatever. And I was there a lot more, because I only had 2 spots at the lake. And I'd go out there and there'd be, 100 people walking around that concrete pad and drawing, with chalk and throwing rocks at each other and just having, a bunch of kids. I mean, we really need to do something for these kids. We get, it was about just making another spot for people to hang out. So I had talked to different amusement, industry people and, I had some ideas for something else, and luckily the people that own that company in Utah came out here and they stayed for a couple of days and like, man, we just don't have the traffic. I'm scared to sell you this thing. We don't want it to fail. You fail as far as we need to make money and I don't want you to buy this stuff and it not be
right.
Support itself. So then you snowball, then you came with another idea. You couldn't get the numbers to work on it as far as the projections. And then came across, I was at another place where there was an arcade under one level of this ropes course. And I was like, well, I could do a restaurant on the bottom and then have a taller, this one's 4 stories. So, kind of expanded that idea. Instead of an arcade, we put, a restaurant with milkshake bar, but now we're selling high-end cookies that are homemade and stuff like that. So it's kind of evolving as we,
it's a great food. I mean, if people go there just for the food too. I mean, if people don't go there and do the roast course, they go there just to eat. I mean, you got the cookies, you got the malts, you got the burgers. I mean, it's just like, it's a great place.
Yeah. The smash burgers are our number one seller. I'm a big fan of In-N-Out. So whenever I'm on the East or West Coast, I always pull into there. But the last time I did that a couple months ago, it's like, man, the Malted Monkey burger is better than this. I can't wait for it to reopen. So I'm looking forward to that here.
So our viewers need to get out there, get yourself a malted burger, get yourself a cookie, and then wash it down with a big shake.
Big steaks, big cookies. The cookies are homemade every day. They are made from scratch. There's no chemicals in them, no additives. It's just simple ingredients. Great products. So, it's going to be great for everybody. It's better for you as some other cookies.
Moving down the strip, because you pretty much own half the strip now, but let's go to Neon Taco because that's a completely different experience, and it's on the water. It's I would liken it to, I kind of feel like I'm in Florida when I'm in Neon Taco. I mean, it's just got a little bit of a vibe like that. It's just kind of a outdoor, everything's outdoor. Tell me about what you're doing with this property.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was an old property called Beavers, that closed in, I don't know, maybe 19 or 20. And we got a hold of it in 21 and kind of came up with this concept of, it's not a Mexican restaurant, it's more of a taco burrito, margarita, tequila bar. So, we just got some cool tacos and burritos and lots of fun drinks. And, so we've decorated it with Day of the Dead theme inside. And there's actually a guy down there right now as we speak painting the exterior. So we've doubled down on the kind of the art that was inside. We're bringing it outside now. So it'll have a lot better vibe. So they're down there working on that. That kind of soft opens next weekend.
You do some different stuff up at the bar on the street too. There, like I know you had a mechanical bull last year.
Yeah, no, there's a bull for this year. That bull runs Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And it's free to ride. There's a lot of not street stuff, but there's parades and street parties and stuff like that. So a lot of times that street bar will be used for that. the street bar's not open every day, but it is open Thursday through Saturday. But yeah, no, we've got new bands that are playing down there this year. Got some events for you. So we've got a new dock coming next door for that property, but you can use it this summer. It'll be there before the boat races. We allow people to park there and walk up the strip without, we're not going to hassle you. So come park here and walk up to, Casablanca or Tucker's.
That's cool, man. I mean, you guys are the only place to park a boat to get to the strip. I mean, and for you to say that and just be like, hey man, we're here to service the whole strip. We love everybody. We want everybody, I hope everybody who does that at least stops and grabs a drink or grabs some nachos or something from you there, because you have really provided a spot where people can actually boat to the strip, and you're it. So the fact that you allow people to do that, that's really cool. I mean, that's something that,
and it's kind of, I tell the staff, the manager and the staff down there, it's, that was a concern. It's like, we're going to fill our dock. Well, it's like, hey, if we can't make a good enough product that these people are just all walking through here, that gives us a sign we need to change a lot of things. So
right.
let's just watch what happens. And if they don't stop, well, let's adjust and stuff and make them feel like they need to stop. So, most of the people that park there, yeah, they're going to have, an appetizer and then walk up the strip, or have a beer and walk up the strip, or, whatever. So it all works.
And that's kind of fun too, to go to the strip and just kind of bounce around, go to some different places, but at least you're the starting point and the end point. And, that's awesome that you're allowing people to do that.
Kind of like a day excursion. You could boat from your house down here, walk around, go shopping, stop and eat some food.
And when the shootout has the boat races there in the spring, that's going to be cool, because that's going to be a awesome spot to watch from. So we got the boat races back, the offshore races back in June at Neon, and the whole strip area. But yeah, we're excited for that. We got a project going next door to this Neon Taco that should make it real cool for 2026. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get to that one, because that's going to be exciting. I can't wait till we get to that property. Let's go to this is where it all started. Yep. This is
where that blue building is on the left there. That's where it all started, right in there.
Just that little. Was that a house before? Was that what that was?
Oh no, the Civitots own this. They built it, and it was this blue area with there's windows there now. It was just screens and plywood floors and no AC and a couple fans. And then there was a little patio outside, kind of underneath that Paradise sign, where it had one server and some bathrooms. So it's grown a lot, and now there's 10 servers out there, so you can kind of, I guess it's 10 times bigger. But
and it's got great food too. Like I just think this is one of the places that if you have guests in town, you got to bring them here, because the views are unmatched. I mean, you get a full view of that huge turn on the lake. My favorite is the chicken with the pineapple. That sandwich is unbelievable.
Bird of Paradise. It's still the most popular sandwich we have, and that's been there since So Paradise was built in 1988, and it's been the same brand since. I would say that's probably the oldest continuous running restaurant on the Lake of the Ozarks. I could be wrong, but it's one of the older ones for sure.
Yeah, it's been there forever. And you guys do something here that I think is really cool. Like there's, getting gas on the lake. There's a ton of places to get gas. We all go through sticker shock when we go get gas on the lake, because, bringing it down to the lake costs more. It's always more than on the road. But you guys have done something a little different with this location, right?
Yeah, maybe 4 years ago. Gas prices went way up when I was like, maybe, we're not making much off of gas anyways, and we aren't selling our gas. So it's like, hey, let's offer the cheapest fuel we can. So we made a deal with a company at KC for non-ethanol 87. So we only have 87 here, but it's got non-ethanol. And let's make a deal. Let's get these prices down to like highway prices. And so we did it, and soon after that, we realized that now we just have a dock full of people waiting for fuel. And now my restaurant,
the word got out. The word got out about that price.
Yeah. So the rest, we're like, okay, well, now our restaurant sales are going down because people can't park. So we decided at that point, all right, so we're going to offer our customers, our restaurant customers at Paradise, fuel at a discounted price. And we just won't sell fuel to people that aren't our restaurant customers. I know that sounds kind of harsh, but there's many places on the lake to get gas that are great, and there's many within a mile of here. So we felt, hey, let's give our customers, cheap gas, and give them a little benefit of eating here. And,
Well,
if you you get 100 gallons, you're saving $50. And that's
you get a free meal. I mean, you go get gas, you get a free meal. I mean, it's the best deal on the lake. Like if you're going to go to lunch or somewhere, go to Paradise, get some lunch, and you get it for free because you fill up with gas. You're going to save that much.
Yeah. Yep. So there's no downfall there. A lot of people come in for the weekend. They come down on Friday, shoot over to Paradise for lunch, fill up the fuel, and they're gone for the weekend.
I'm a little bummed out because I used to go here for breakfast all the time. I love the breakfast. It's like, it was awesome. And you just told me before we went on the air that the breakfast is no longer going to be served there.
Yeah. So unfortunately, with labor skyrocketing and especially labor, that's really it's the battle at these restaurants is labor. Food costs, goes up, but with food costs goes higher labor, so everything just kind of goes up and up and up. That we don't want to be charging $20 for a cheeseburger, so we're trying to find ways to keep our menu to price the same. And one of those is cutting labor, would be cutting breakfast, because it really kind of got priced out of we didn't want to price ourselves out of that market, and we didn't see a lot of room to move the prices up, so we cut it.
You probably open what, at 11 o'clock over there? Is that right?
Yeah, it used to be 9 o'clock for breakfast. Now it's 11 o'clock, 7 days a week. So
you just have to have a donut at home and then go get lunch early. And
go to the Hatch or the Hatch. That's the one.
Yeah, there's a couple places on the water that still are doing breakfast.
A couple miles down the lake from Paradise. That's a good spot. But yeah, no breakfast at Paradise for 2025.
But you still have the amazing menu that you got going. It's a great place for families too. It's like, you can bring your family there and everybody can have a good time. You don't feel like you're sitting in a nightclub. You feel like you're sitting in a true entertainment.
We got 3 bars in there, but it's mostly kind of sandwiches or dinner and drinks, kind of casual atmosphere, not real loud. We got bands in there, not real loud bands, 3-piece bands, 1-piece bands, stuff like that. It's our bartenders aren't getting run over, so they're not just pumping stuff out of machines. So they're hand blending, pina coladas, pain in the asses, so these drinks are, as long as we can keep these bar shares consistent, they're the best because they're blended to order.
Yeah, that's a plus. And now that there's no toll booth, it's literally 10 minutes to get there from the middle of town. It's nothing right now to get over there.
Yeah, no, I mean, my office is on the Strip, and I'm 12 minutes from that office there, so not far at all.
No, that's awesome. Okay, so now we're going to the one place that you keep open year round. That's such a big service for the lake because, look, we all remember what it was back in the 90s. The lake would completely close down for 3 months and nothing would be open. Now you have a lot of full-timers living at the lake, and it's nice to have a really good restaurant right there in the middle of the Strip. And, I'm not sure you can get oysters anywhere in central Missouri other than at your place. I mean, this is pretty unique.
Yeah, no, it kind of, you can get fresh oysters anywhere pretty much in the world because you got, nice big planes and all this stuff and people. So the hardest part about our oysters is ordering, because we had to stay 10 or 12 days ahead of when the shipment arrives. So they harvest this stuff for us. So if we don't put an order in, they don't harvest it. So we don't get it.
Wow.
So it's not like, and so obviously being that we're we're not seasonal, but our whole town is a vacation destination that is seasonal. Your orders never are the same. You're ramping them up, plateauing them, peaking them down. So the chef there has, he had to learn, there's a learning curve that goes along with oysters in the Midwest if you have a pretty high volume of oyster sales. So, it's a bummer when we run out of oysters because we can't correct it very fast.
Yeah, well, and you guys have all kinds of stuff on the menu too. I know the Philly there is unbelievable. When I bring my mom into town, she makes me go there, and all she talks about is the lobster roll. I mean,
Oh yeah,
she loves that.
Yeah, we sell a lot of those for sure. But being in the Midwest, we offer about half our menu, maybe a little more, is not seafood. Tucker's, Shuckers, Oyster, and Tap. Sometimes people are like, well, I don't want to go there, I don't like oysters. Well, our top 3 items don't have any seafood in them. some of our best sellers are Phillies, French dips, and I think Nashville sandwich and sliders are the top 4 right now. But back to the oyster thing, even me having an oyster bar now, maybe when I was younger, was like, I'm not eating an oyster. That's gross. But, I grew up and all that, and so I like oysters. But the trick here is if you don't like oysters, you need to try the cooked oysters. So we offered char-grilled oysters, sriracha char-grilled oysters, which both those are cooked with Parmesan and butter and garlic. So you can't go.
They're unbelievable. I mean, you cook those up, I could eat 20 of them.
Yeah, then there's a Rockefeller. So those are all cooked, and we'll do events at golf tournaments and stuff like that, charity stuff, and people will have a grill going, and people are like, I don't want an oyster, that's gross. And it's like, well, hey, these are cooked, try them. And they'll try them and they'll be like, wait, I love that. I can buy those at Smirkers. And it's like, yeah, see? So that's kind of the way that's the gateway drug right there, is give them the cooked oysters and then they start liking other stuff.
Yeah, no, they're awesome. It's a great place to go. It's right in the middle of the strip. You got parking in the back. So if you can't find something on the street, there's usually a spot right behind it. It's an awesome setup you guys have going on there.
Yeah.
Let's move down the strip, because we were going to get to this. Let's talk about, there's something new going in. Are you ready to talk about this? Do you want to kind of let everybody know what's happening?
For sure. So just to the left there of Neon Taco, we're doing a entertainment complex that's so it's 3 different concepts. So it's a 5-story building with a pool. So the pool level, which is the lakeside level, is a Tulum kind of style, bohemian style pool bar. So we're trying to, spice it up a little bit with that. And so we'll have a big pool, couple bars, DJ, all that. And then as you go up, so where you see that dump truck is up there, that's what we call street level. And so, that's the 3rd level of this building, because the elevation there is so much higher than the lake level. So if you enter the building on where that dump truck is there's a so we don't have names for any of these concepts. We did have names, we backed out of them. We have the concepts figured out, we just don't have the names. So whatever we're going to call that concept, it's a sports bar place that has duck pin bowling, which is bowling with a shorter lane, with your normal shoes. So you don't have to wear bowling shoes.
Oh, that's cool.
And the balls don't have holes in them. They fit in the palm of your hand, and you get 3 frames. So it's fun. So the first time I played, I was in Nashville, and I was like, this is great. It's more of a social scene. It's not real. It's different than a bowling alley. You'd have like a high-end bar or high-end sports bar vibe in there. Yeah, we have pinball machine, shuffleboards. We have something called Dartsy, which is a electronic dartboard. It's a real dartboard, real dartboards with real darts, but it scores it electronically. So that's real fun. Here we have the 5th level, which is the rooftop, is Mediterranean concept we're doing. So yeah, that'll be higher end.
Oh, and that's going to be unbelievable too, for the different events you have going on, and whether you're watching the strip or watching something going on the water. I mean, to be on that top rooftop, and what a cool atmosphere when the sun goes down. It's going to be even better. That you probably come up by water, you'll see everything going on up top there. That's going to be cool.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. So we're shooting for let's see, May of 26 for this project. It's going strong, but we're behind schedule. But I think we still can hit this May of 26.
That's good. That's not very much time to build 5 levels of with the pool and all that. So you must you must already. Well, you guys have built so much already that you kind of. I mean, once you've been through a couple of these, I guess the learning curve helps you on the next one you're going to do, right?
Yeah, this is the biggest one we've done. But yeah, there's a lot more people involved, a lot more engineers, a lot more, there's just a lot of people, and some of the setbacks are just, unexpected stuff that comes up, and you're like, oh, well, you got to address that one.
And it's the lake. I mean, let's face it, when you're building at the lake, it's not always.
We didn't get a lot done last week with that. What is it, 6 or 10 inches of snow? So this week you're hitting it hard. I think they were pouring concrete yesterday again, but there's still a lot to do. And I think you'll see stuff happens fast. So, the masonry guys and the steel guys, one day you're going to drive by there and there's going to be a building, 2 weeks before that there wasn't.
It goes up once it starts going, it goes up fast. Well, you guys have so many properties. You've got boat rentals, you've got vacation rentals, you got the RV stuff, you have all these properties we just went over. Luckily, they don't have to go to 25 different places to find out what to do. They can just simply go into the LOZ app, and you have your own button in the LOZ app for all the Tucker properties. And when you go into the app and you go to Tucker Properties, everything you have is listed on that one button. So it's super easy. One tap, they can be figuring out all the things they want to do. And what's cool is they can go into each location and they can actually tap to see who's playing music that night or what events are going on. They can call you. They can go to your menu and look around. They can tap that one button and it'll open up the maps on their phone, and they're driving or they're boating straight to you. And they can even leave a Google review right through the app for any of your locations, which I know you appreciate. When someone has a great experience, you'd love for them to leave a great reviews, because let's face it, there's thousands and hundreds of thousands of people coming in to the lake from out of town, and they're looking at Google reviews to see where they want to go. So,
every reviews, whether it be good or bad, we look at the bad ones too. We like to learn.
Yeah, but so you could go in the LOZ app. You guys can download that, and you can go to see any of the stuff that's going on, any of the Tucker properties, and we always keep that updated. So as you're adding all these new locations and adding new features and stuff, we put that in there. Thanks a lot, man, for joining us on the LOZ Podcast Network. I mean, you are you have so much going on at the lake. You're so entrenched with the charities that happen down there. I know last year you tried to help out with was it last year or the year before, we did the Christmas tree thing where you were doing Christmas trees for a local charity. I mean, you really kind of are, you're interested in helping out the community whenever you can.
No, yeah, we love being a part of, whether it be someone that needs help with financially with some kind of disease or injury or whatever, or gift cards for some auction, t-shirts, or catering events, stuff like that. We do a lot of charity stuff in the restaurant. We do some stuff that we bring food to. But yeah, no, we that shows you part of the fun part of this business, honestly.
Yeah, no, that's great. And so, Wade, I really appreciate you being with us, and we're going to visit with you guys in the spring a little later as we get everything opened up, and we'll kind of get. I know you have some fun things coming, and you got some new things that you're going to want to share. But thank you so much for being on this episode of the LOZ Podcast Network, and we wish you guys the best 2025. And I encourage all of our 30,000 users, go check out one of these properties, two of these properties. You're local, and yeah, all the properties, but you're local, and that's what we have in the app. Everything in the app is locally owned businesses, and that's what we love about it. People know when they come into the app and they look for businesses that it's somebody who lives at the lake, works at the lake. You might have kids that go to school with their kids. You see them in church, whatever. It's a really cool atmosphere, and you are definitely a local that's doing so many things for the lake. I want everybody to support you and get out to all your places. So thanks a lot, man, for joining us today.
We appreciate what you're doing with this app too.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, man. I know that when I first sat down with you way back a couple years ago when we started, and you asked, you were one of the first meetings we had, and you're like, okay, well, how many people are in this app? And I said, I think 1,200. And you kind of looked at me like, okay, I've been here before. A couple guys started apps. I said, no, we're going to get bigger. And so we're almost to 30,000 users now, and we haven't even been around for 2 years. So thank you for sticking with us and for taking a shot with us.
No, we really appreciate that app and all you do for the community as well.
Thanks, man. All right, well, we will see you on the next episode. Thanks, everybody. We are out for today, and make sure you get to a Tucker's property.
All right. Thanks, Ken.
Thanks.